Hi, I'm Brian Ireson, one of the trainers at the Computer Workshop. For today's tutorial, I figured we could go through the symbols that you will encounter when you are looking at Excel formulas. So as you can see, I've brought up and created a little spreadsheet to help you understand and see these. To start with, we're going to look at the basic structure of a formula. Every formula always will begin with an equal. Now, after that, you may see a function, something like sum or product. That is the mathematic operator of what you're going to be doing. And then inside the parentheses are going to be the arguments. These are what are you adding up or multiplying or doing other calculations with, what cell references. Now, to start with, we're going to look at the colon. Colons mean through. So as you can see here, the example B4 through B10, that is indicated here with that colon. So if I were adding these cells together, I would be adding a B4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. While a comma generally means and. As an example here, if I were adding up B4, comma B10, I would only be adding those two cells together. Now sometimes you will see a comma and it is going to be used to divide one component of or function of a formula from another. So you may see things like this in a VLOOKUP. Equal VLOOKUP, open parentheses, the lookup value cell, comma, the table array that you're going to be searching for that value in, comma, which column do you want to pull the information back from when it is found. So the commas there indicate a separation from one part of the formula from another. But generally, a comma between cell addresses indicates an and, this and that. The other thing here that you will see quite commonly will be the dollar signs, and those will indicate absolute cell addressing. If you're not familiar with or comfortable with the whole idea of what absolute cell addressing is in a formula, we do have a tutorial on that. For now though, if you see a dollar sign column letter, dollar sign row number, where that intersects but the rows and columns, that is going to be a fixed point inside of your formula. So if you were to use your autofill to pull that across or down a row, or down a column I should say, or across a row, you would see in that formula that cell address would always be fixed. While any cells that have a relative address, no dollar signs, as in the example here with this A1, those would just be moving down A2, A3, A4, as long as you are pulling down that autofill. If you were to see a formula that has a dollar sign in front of the letter but not the number, that would indicate that the column is absolute but the row is relative. Conversely, you can sometimes run across situations where you see the dollar sign is between the column and row. So this would indicate that the column is relative but the row is absolute. Alrighty, so those are your dollar signs and ways that you may encounter those. The next symbol that you will see quite commonly will be an exclamation mark. This is usually followed by or follows a little bit of text, and that text would be the name of the sheet that you are referring to inside of your formula. As an example here, you can see equals sheet 2 exclamation mark cell A1. So this formula would say go and find whatever information is inside of sheet 2 cell A1 and display it right here. But that exclamation mark defines this as a sheet. The next thing will be the brackets. In other workbooks, in your formulas, when you refer to those other workbooks, I should say, you're actually going to go ahead here and see that workbook name held inside of brackets. As you can see, the example here, equal book 2 close square bracket, sheet 1 exclamation mark, so you're referring to which spreadsheet in that other workbook, and then the cell address. Most of the time when you are going to refer from one workbook to another, the cell addressing will always want to be done in an absolute manner. So that's the basic set of symbols that you will run into when you are working in Excel and writing formulas. So I hope that you found today's little tutorial helpful, and if you liked this, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We do put out new videos every week, so come on back and see what we have coming up. Until then, take care.